Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the opening part to What If Goku Had Doomsday's powers. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe, it's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
In this What If, Goku is going to possess the powers of Doomsday. So some of you may know who Doomsday is, but just to clarify, he is an ancient Kryptonian being that stems from the DC universe. His abilities are quite impressive and I'm going to just list them out now. He has super strength, speed, invulnerability, evolution, regeneration, reactive adaptation, infinite resurrection and power absorption. So his strength, speed and durability are comparable to Superman, but over time this could easily change. With someone like Goku it's most definitely going to change. Doomsday has evolved to have an impressive healing factor, and this is something that Goku is also going to possess. Along with that, it's stated that Doomsday's DNA can also go through evolution over time without any need for harmful stimuli. However, I'm guessing that the evolution in this form will be a lot slower. Additionally, he has the ability to absorb the energy stored within objects and individuals as well. He can also absorb energy-based attacks. Finally, the main ability to cover is his adaptation. So when Doomsday is killed, he is resurrected and cannot be killed in the same way again. On top of lethal stimuli, Doomsday can adapt to things that just cause him harm, not necessarily just things that kill him. However, this form of adaptation is likely less perfected and drastic when compared to the adaptation from lethal attacks. This grants him practical immortality, where he always returns after being killed no matter what. With Doomsday's insane abilities, things go very differently to how they do in canon. Bardock can sense the latent power within his son and can also see diamond-like crystals on his knuckles, elbows and knees. I hope you achieve your potential, son, and kill the Emperor that is Frieza. Avenge us all, my son, Bardock states, while Goku just laughs in his nursing capsule. He can't understand any sort of language yet and just registers his words as random sounds. He is sent off to Earth and planet Vegeta is destroyed. Upon arriving, Goku is then found by the likes of Grandpa Gohan. His appearance with his tail and silver crystallized joints confuses him, but the man is indifferent to his looks. Raising him is a serious struggle since he is so powerful. He is quite a mischievous kid and it requires a lot of effort for Grandpa Gohan to keep this energetic child contained. When he's a baby, Goku ends up falling in the large hole like in canon, but doesn't get hurt by the impact. He is already so strong in his youth that it causes him little problems. He doesn't actually adapt at this point in time because his body isn't harmed. Here Grandpa Gohan can see this boy's like a bottomless well of power. He can't exactly train him to make him stronger, but he can teach him technique. With greater fighting technique and control, Goku could eventually learn to utilize his power well. Grandpa Gohan is still killed by Goku when he turns into a Great Ape, and the destruction he causes is absolutely mental. Just his stomps destroy the mountains around him and he is very confused once he wakes up. Nevertheless, Goku then goes on his journey with Bulma to search for the Dragon Balls. When Goku copies Master Roshi's Kamehameha wave, he literally destroys the entire plane that he is aimed at. The others stood in close proximity to him are blown away by the release of power, and Goku is astounded by his own power. He's never been able to use energy waves to actually see his strength. The likes of Emperor Pilaf and his crew are no match for Goku. He can destroy the warriors with ease, and Bulma gets the Dragon Balls that she wished to have so greatly. Following this, Goku goes under Master Roshi's wing to be trained by him. However, Goku is simply too strong to be sparred with. Even when he doesn't try that hard, he can easily defeat them. The force that he can put behind his crystalline knuckles is dangerously high, and he soon finds out about his energy absorption abilities. Master Roshi launches his Kamehameha wave straight at Goku when they're in a spar, even using his buff form. However, Goku lifts his hands and the blast flows right into his palms, causing him little issues whatsoever. For the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, Jackie Chun doesn't even enter the tournament. His whole desire for joining the tournament was to beat his students to show them that there'd be always room to grow. With Goku though, he won't be putting that message forward, he's simply too strong. Therefore, Goku easily makes it to the finals where he meets Krillin. He cops the easy win here and is crowned the winner, without even having to try that much at all. Goku easily destroys the likes of the Red Ribbon Army and does so without even having to try. There hasn't even been an instance in his life yet where he's been able to witness his adaptation and amazing healing factor. One thing that he does notice himself though is that he can heal from training his body very quickly. After exerting himself to the maximum, the strain that he puts on his body vanishes rapidly. He also needs to work extremely hard to even make himself feel that way. The number of exercises and the sheer volume he must complete to get to that point is insane. Goku would really do well with a gravity chamber right now. Next, Goku takes on the likes of Tien in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai final. The fighter believes that he can take down Goku in this fight, but he is terribly mistaken. After growing up arrogant being a prodigious fighter under Shen, he is humbled badly in this final matchup. It doesn't take much for Goku to take him down, and he is given back-to-back wins in this tournament. The crowd are electric whenever he steps foot on the gridded arena, and is becoming quite popular with them from his stellar performances. Goku forgets his things at the tournament and Krillin offers to get his things for him, however Goku declines, saying that he is much faster. Departing the group and heading on his way, he zooms forward in a super fast sprint that lifts up a massive cloud of dirt behind him. He resembles the Flash as he soars across the terrain, finding his way back to the tournament at rapid pace. Retrieving the Dragon Ball and the Power Pole, he is then met by Tambourine himself. Tambourine attempts to attack Goku upon catching note of him being the winner of this whole tournament. Throwing his claws straight at him with a straightened palm, Goku dodges his attack with a simple step back. His speed is immense, and it looks to Tambourine like he teleported with his movements. "Who are you?" Goku asks, not even looking to fight right now. He sees no threat from this being and hasn't really done so for anyone ever, therefore he just wants to learn of his intentions before jumping into a wild battle. Tambourine just shouts and launches an energy wave straight at Goku and goodbyes his ability to dodge his attack. The golden wave of ki soars toward Goku, but it then starts being sucked in. He hears no impact nor sees an explosion, but just sees the energy wave suck right into Goku's palm like it's a black hole. Startled by this ability, Goku just projects this energy wave back toward Tambourine, shooting him across the hall that they're stood in. Tambourine goes crashing through a wall and out into the arena opening, heavily bruised. "I don't want to have to hurt you, just tell me what you're doing here," Goku explains, while placing his Dragon Ball in his pocket. Tambourine, again too flabbergasted to reply, goes in to attack him with a shout. Fury now empowers the angered fighter, but Goku slips his punch with utmost ease. To him, he can see every single micro movement that his body makes, perceiving the incoming punch is so easy to him. Finally, he shoots out an energy wave with a single hand to incinerate Tambourine. Nothing is left of him, and King Piccolo releases his other child in the form of Symbol to try and gather the Dragon Balls. Goku ends up finding this Symbol fighter before he returns to his friends and blasts it right out of the sky. Yajirobe unsheathes his sword, holding it firmly to the sky. Vigilantly awaiting the dragon's landing, he jolts back upon seeing it blow up to smithereens. After this, Goku meets Yajirobe for the first time, just like before, and they have their short spar before Yajirobe eats the already cooked body of Symbol. King Piccolo then goes on to fight Goku himself and is convinced that he can beat him. Little does he know, he's attempting to overpower a literal powerhouse. Upon arriving, he's taken aback by the blue-grey crystals over his body in several places. Along with that, he has this weird monkey tail. The elderly Namekian demon shoots forward, cocking back his fist before shooting it ahead. Goku doesn't take a single step back. He stands boldly, watching this fist soar toward his face. King Piccolo, upon seeing this, believes that this odd-looking fighter is too slow. If he was fast enough, he would have dodged this incoming strike by now. Anticipating a precise connection, it's only when his knuckles are just about to contact Goku's face when he almost appears beside him. Lifting a single leg, Goku snaps two of King Piccolo's bones, dropping him to both of his knees whilst he screams in agony. The broken bones aren't the sole cause of his agony. The sheer force behind that kick also rattles his internal organs. As soon as Goku takes a step forward, King Piccolo can feel his heart almost skip a beat. Fear seizes his mind, and he launches an energy wave straight at Goku to try and keep him as far away from him as possible. Heavily breathing while searching through the smoke, hoping to be met by Goku's corpse, he sees no such thing. Instead, he sees nobody, not a soul. A smile cracks on his face upon seeing this. "Be gone, you are no match for me in the end, boy, just as I envisioned." Before he can even continue talking, Goku blasts Piccolo, destroying him with that blast alone. King Piccolo is gone, but so are the Dragon Balls and Kami along with that. He can feel a shimmer in his pocket, and as he goes to retrieve the Dragon Ball, he can see that it no longer resembles the glowing orb that he once had. Now it's just a ball of grey dull rock. Thudding onto the ground, Goku can't believe it. This man was the reason behind the Dragon Ball's existence. Kami is also killed from Goku's efforts, and the group are partially happy and sorry for Goku. He did defeat a great threat, but a lot of them just didn't know what that would entail. However, Krillin is still alive here, so the group of fighters aren't extremely bothered about this occurrence. At this point, Goku's training continues and finds none of his previous masters in the form of Korin or Master Roshi able to train him anymore. He's learned their techniques and is completely out of their league now. Therefore, he is sent further past Korin's tower and to the lookout. Here he gives his condolences to Mr. Popo upon hearing that he was indirectly the cause for Kami's death. However, Goku also asks about forms of training that he can embark on. Mr. Popo speaks of somebody that Kami was talking about before he died. King Kai, someone that can actually give Goku some valuable knowledge on battle. He's in a separate realm entirely, but Mr. Popo leads him to King Yama, where he is then referred to the likes of King Kai. Goku zooms across Snake Way with ease and can leap several portions of it. Instead of the 27 hours it takes Goku after receiving the whole training from King Kai in canon, it takes him only a few hours. Arriving there, King Kai is amazed by Goku's potential and raw power. Here, King Kai begins revealing his own techniques to try and improve the Saiyan's fighting ability. The first technique consists of the power of Kaioken. Upon using it the first time, Goku feels no strain. After all this training, even as a kid right now, his power level is above 1,000,000. Therefore, the basic Kaioken state won't bother him at all. He continues to push further, using as much of the power that he can. Soon enough, Goku ramps up to Kaioken times 10, but this is where he seems to max out. He can certainly feel the strain on his body, and King Kai urges him to stop, but Goku keeps going. One thing that he notices here is that he can feel his body slowly becoming accustomed to this power. After a few seconds or so, the pain slowly becomes manageable. After another minute of remaining in the form, he can definitely add it to his own arsenal. His red aura fades and he then begins using Kaioken times 12 and can actually do so. There's strain on his body, but it soon becomes manageable once again. His raging aura almost destroys King Kai's home, but he calms himself before anything extremely bad can happen. Goku's adaptation is the cause for this. His body is literally adapting to the strain of Kaioken and learning to handle it. Now, I wouldn't say his adaptation is on the level of where he just becomes immune to it super quickly. However, he can soon use Kaioken times 20 after just a few tries of getting up there in a single day, really. During this training, King Kai also shows off the power of the Spirit Bomb. Shooting it toward Goku, the Saiyan then just absorbs the blast in reflex. King Kai is stunned, totally lost for words. The entire power of his Spirit Bomb is sucked right into Goku's body and he just can't really understand how that's happened. What sort of power is that? You just ate my Spirit Bomb, King Kai shouts, simultaneously angered and dumbfounded. No, I just absorbed the energy. Look, Goku says, crouching down to hold his hand up to a few beads of grass. Here they start flowing around and grey out until there seems to be no energy left within them. The grass falls slump, crackling and dying as globules of energy fly into Goku's hand. King Kai just stands there watching this, shocked by this fighter's ability. Goku soon gains the use of the Spirit Bomb himself and has made astounding progress with his training after about a year. King Kai can't provide any sort of physical sparring to begin with because Goku is already way stronger than he is. However, his techniques prove quite helpful as Goku can increase his power level all the way up to 200 million by this point in time. This is when he uses Kaioken times 20, so he has a base power level of 10 million. Upon returning to Earth, Goku enters the hyperbolic time chamber for a year and is definitely strong enough to kind of just stay in there. Now he spends a year in that chamber, then continues his solitary training on the outside for a period of 2 more years. His power level grows from about 1 million to 25 million from all this training. King Kai's training brought his power level to 10 million, and the extra year in the hyperbolic time chamber along with some training outside of it allowed him to grow even stronger. With a much stronger base form and his body already being partially adapted to sustain Kaioken, he can actually use Kaioken times 20 like it's Super Saiyan 3. It's not a form that he uses for a brief period to get a sudden boost against an opponent, it's a form that he can truly rely on in battle for some time. There is no Piccolo Jr. to take part in this tournament against Goku, so Goku easily defeats everybody that he finds and wins the tournament. The crowd are very happy to see the unstoppable force that is Goku in battle once again. The stands are filled up, with many individuals standing around to try and witness this raw power. His 3 consecutive wins have popularized the tournament even more, but I wouldn't say that Goku is exactly a household name like Mr. Satan is. Instead, he's just popular within this domain. 5 years pass and Goku has his son, Gohan. Here I wouldn't say that Gohan is born with all of Goku's unique abilities, but is born with a solid power level of 10,000. He also has a healing factor similar to Doomsday, but that's it, he has no form of adaptation. Think of it like Wolverine, where he can heal from attacks insanely fast, but it's not like his body adapts to that damage in any way. Raditz soon arrives on Earth in search of his brother Kakarot. Since Piccolo isn't alive here, he goes straight for Goku and finds him at the Kame house. Upon arriving, he interrogates Goku and asks about why this planet hasn't been destroyed. However, Goku has not forgotten where he comes from. He can still remember a select few things from his time on planet Vegeta, such as the face of his mother and father. He was never able to see Raditz and didn't understand language, so couldn't really remember what they were saying anyway. I wasn't here to kill anybody, I won't lay a hand on any human here and you won't either, Goku says authoritatively. Raditz chuckles upon seeing the very low power level of his brother. Kakarot, your power level is at 100, do you really think you hold a flame to my strength? Raditz says, regally lifting his hands. I didn't believe what you're saying for a second anyway. We Saiyans are sent to planets to destroy every living thing on it so that we can sell the land off for a profit. You weren't sent here just for the fun of it, Raditz claims. I promise you that's what happened, I don't remember ever being told such a thing, Goku insists. Raditz looks reluctant but he doesn't buy it in the end. Attempting to attack Goku, the Saiyan shifts his body so that the fist soars past his face, but he also grabs the incoming fist in the process. Here Raditz gets a closer look of Goku's gleaming crystals that cover his elbows and wrists. Don't you dare try and hurt anyone here, Goku shouts, and in his anger some of his suppression is lifted. Just with that single flare, Raditz's scouter picks up a power level of 90,000. 90,000. Raditz retreats and jolts back, almost as if he's seen a ghost. The power level steadies at 90,000, so he knows it's not a hoax. How? How could his brother possess so much power? Does it have to do with these diamonds on his body? Goku looks as if he's going in to attack his brother, but he falls back with his hands held up in fear. Leave this planet and don't ever return, Goku shouts, stepping forward to make Raditz take a step back himself. He looks almost totally terrified of Goku's power, but he gives one last warning before leaving. There are 2 other Saiyans that have been listening to this whole conversation. In a year's time they'll come here and destroy everything that you've built, Raditz claims, before flying off as fast as he can. Leaving this bombshell with the group, they scramble to try and think of a way of defeating these incoming Saiyans. Goku isn't that scared of what is to come, but just wants to make sure that his friends are strong enough to face these incoming warriors. The fighters all train together and they go through some strenuous, grueling training at that. By the end of this whole training period, Gohan's power level has increased to 25,000 from the 10,000 that he had beforehand. Goku's power level is at around 26 million. He's mainly been focusing on training others and not himself. There also isn't a single soul on the planet strong enough to actually give him a run for his money, so all of the training to increase his power level is done solitarily. The Saiyans arrive just as Raditz predicted, but they come back with Raditz himself. The 3 Saiyans have arrived, and Raditz has even gone through some training to try and make sure that he could beat Goku. His power level is only 2000, so he's very naive if he thinks he could lay a finger on Goku. Vegeta, Nappa and Raditz stand before the Z fighters, who all look ready to fight. Gohan and Goku are stood a step ahead of these fighters and look far more confident. Gohan hasn't even been touched by anyone besides Goku in battle. All the humans together couldn't even make him break a sweat, so his abilities give him a good bit of confidence. Look at these fighters, Raditz. You brought us here for a bunch of fighters that couldn't even beat a Cyberman, Vegeta shouts, infuriated. No, these fighters can conceal their strength and reveal it later. I already told you this, Raditz explains. Vegeta just scoffs, unbelieving of his claims. Just plant those Cybermen so that they can waste these fighters, Vegeta shouts. Upon unleashing the Cybermen, they are actually taken down rather easily by the likes of the humans. Still in the process, Yamcha is taken down by an explosion from one of these Cybermen self-destructing. Goku is annoyed that he let this happen and is more reluctant to letting his human friends continue in the battle after seeing that. So they can increase their power. The 3-eyed one even has a power level of 1830, the shorter bold one has a power level of 1770. Impressive, Vegeta says, still unbothered. Nappa, obliterate these warriors, he commands. Nappa laughs and lifts his hands, shooting an energy wave that hits Tien and Chiaotzu right on, incinerating them. Krillin was outside of the area of detonation of this wave and is more than grateful that he was. We don't even have any Dragon Balls to revive them, Krillin realizes, looking at their dead bodies. No, not after Piccolo died, Goku says in realization. Why did you do that, Goku asks, horrified by the sights to his left. Why not, Nappa boldly asks, with a maniacal smile on his face. They go elsewhere based on Goku's wishes and fight somewhere where there are no humans or animals to interfere with the battle. Gohan, go, Goku calls out, making Gohan spring into action. Shouting, the young boy reveals his power and makes his long hair flow in his raging silver aura. His eyes are glued onto Nappa and he looks totally resolute. He knows what he must do now and nothing will upset that focus of his. He does feel scared, but he's confident in his own power. Powering up, his power level starts climbing at alarming rates. Raditz never saw this before and can't believe that his scouter was actually right the first time. After returning with a new and improved model, he can't just say that the readings that he sees are fake. Gohan flies toward Nappa and lands a single punch that curls him right over and shatters the armor it impacts. Being shot back into a rock pillar, it comes crumbling down onto the warrior. Vegeta and Raditz are stunned, unable to move or speak. Even Vegeta feels fear, something that he doesn't feel from many, and he's feeling it from a boy. a low-class Saiyan boy with a power level of 25,000. Nothing seems to be adding up with this situation. Nappa roars, breaking free of this rubble with his rage-powered charge of ki. His armor is totally gone from this outburst of ki, then he flies straight to Gohan, thirsty for his blood. Glaring at Gohan with bloodshot and crazed eyes, he roars vehemently in his advance. However, Gohan decides to fly forward himself, making them meet at the midpoint between them. There is a harsh, loud clash that causes Nappa to get thrown away. Landing on the ground, he receives a punch to the jaw that knocks him back onto a hand and knee. As Gohan flies forward to try and hit him, Nappa lifts his free hand and tries to keep him away. Using an energy wave, the golden wave of ki flushes over Gohan's body but causes little harm. It only makes his clothes look slightly tattered after the smoke around him clears. The battle-savvy Chow leaps through the smoke to blast it apart, delivering a number of punches to Nappa's abdomen that pretty much renders him defeated. He can barely breathe and his head falls slump onto the ground as a mixture of blood and spit oozes from his mouth. The burly warrior can't stop hyperventilating, mentally crushed by not just this agony but the sense of defeat looming over him. Vegeta, after seeing this embarrassing performance from his partner, lifts his hand to destroy him. Raditz falls back upon seeing Vegeta do this and struggles to believe that he'd act so heartlessly. With his leader so strong, there's not much he can do to sway his opinion or stop him. He knows that his word means nothing to him. A ball of ki flies toward Nappa, but it's intercepted before it can touch him. Being sent flying through a rock pillar, Goku stands there with his arm extended to the sky after deflecting the blast. "You're ruthless, you try and kill your own crewmate," Goku asks, furious. "He's weak, he means nothing to me," Vegeta says, before holding his palm to Raditz's chest. Cackling whilst doing so, he believes that Goku is too far away to do anything here. Raditz is too slow to even react to Vegeta's sudden movement and his eyes widen with shock. He just can't think that there's a way that Vegeta would do this. All this time that they've been through, operating as a team, a three-man cell, he surely couldn't just kill him. Closing his eyes in anticipation of the incoming impact, he can hear a loud explosion, but he is suddenly grabbed by someone. Goku grabs him and is sent rolling away, saving his brother. Vegeta looks startled upon seeing him just move like that and turns to see Goku with a power level of 100,000 on his scouter. How? How could this be possible? Vegeta struggles to believe it at first and attempts to fight Goku. Launching a one-hand energy wave straight at the fighter, he just lifts his hand and absorbs its power. Vegeta is stunned after seeing this. He looks past Goku to see where the energy wave went, but it literally just fell into his hands. Struggling to believe what is happening here, he tries again to subdue Goku. Shooting up to try and punch him in the face, Goku evades and gut punches him before landing a final arching kick to launch him through 3 whole rock pillars. The pillars come crumbling down after Goku's attack, and Vegeta doesn't look to be in the best state, therefore he resorts to his best technique. Shooting his ball of ki right into the sky, it enlarges and makes the likes of Gohan and Vegeta transform into great apes. Along with that, Raditz can see the ball has been activated and transforms, but is on the sidelines. With a power level of 20,000, even after this transformation, he can't do anything to lay a finger on either Goku or Gohan. The raging Gohan sees Vegeta first and just storms toward him, throwing forward his head in the form of a headbutt. Vegeta is slammed back into a rock pillar and gets a pretty nasty bruise on his snout. Following that attack right after, Gohan clamps both of his hands together before slamming them down onto his snout in the form of a double axe handle. Vegeta impacts yet another adjacent rock pillar, knocking it right over from the force of this impact and his own weight. Gohan then gapes open his mouth, revealing a charging ball of ki that Vegeta just about manages to stop with one of his own. An explosion is given off at the midpoint between them, and Gohan rushes forward blindly to try and attack Vegeta again. Here, the raw power of Gohan is too much for Vegeta to handle. His own power level is 180,000, whilst Gohan's is at 250,000. There's no comparison between them physically. Even with Vegeta's greater control and technique, it means nothing when the gap in strength is this large. Blocking numerous swinging hits from Gohan, he attempts to throw one himself, only to get directly hit by a mouth blast, then hit with numerous punches and slams. These repeated impacts soon drop him to the floor, where he just gets totally battered by the infuriated beast. Each attack makes the ground rumble, even causing surrounding rock pillars to come tumbling down, with each leaving a cloud of dust in its wake. Vegeta groans from the repeated impacts that he can't even contain, and his hands soon fall right to his sides. Just taking these impacts head on, Vegeta has been defeated by Gohan. He is currently out cold, and it won't be long before he succumbs to his injuries if he continues getting beat. Here, Goku can see that Vegeta is dead and doesn't want to kill him. Even after the maniacal efforts of him to try and kill Raditz and Nappa, he doesn't feel the desire to do so. Looking up, he can see the glowing ball of energy above them and flies up toward it. Upon arriving near this blast, he holds his hand up to it and can feel the energy soaring into his own body. The process is rather slow with such a dense collection of ki, but the Oozaru Saiyans feel this absorption in seconds. Gohan goes in to try and attack the unmoving Vegeta again, but stops in place. It's almost like he's lost the desire to fight and forgotten where he is. Soon the ball of ki is completely gone and the likes of Gohan, Raditz and Vegeta return to normal. Vegeta is knocked out still and Gohan has fallen asleep after his first proper transformation. He never actually transforms into his Great Ape form in training, so it's a first experience for him. Raditz is the only previously transformed Saiyan that remains alive and is just overwhelmed by the whole situation. The only way he can tell Vegeta still lives is through his scouter, but he can see that his power level is falling. Take your friends and leave, Goku commands, seeing Raditz standing on one of the lower rock pillars in the environment. Raditz leaps down to grab Vegeta, then flies off to retrieve Nappa as well. The injured fighters stumble into their pods and head straight for Planet Frieza 79 where they can recuperate and heal. As for right now, Goku and Gohan return to their friends shocked by the death of their friends. Analysing their situation, they soon decide to head to Namek and use any possible Dragon Balls that they could have there. Here they find Kami's spaceship like before and Bulma performs her usual work on it to get it up and running. After this, Goku, Gohan and Krillin are on their way to Namek to find some Dragon Balls to revive their friends. After Krillin's mention of the Dragon Balls, Vegeta wants to acquire these special balls for himself. Frieza overhears this conversation through Vegeta's scouter and Raditz's own, making his decision to try and find them for his own wish of immortality. With this, the three parties are headed straight for Namek in search of these mysterious Dragon Balls. So that will conclude the opening part to what if Goku had Doomsday's powers. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.